Today we look at problem number 122, the best time to buy and sell a stock, part 2. It's considered a medium. Let's see this. You are given an integer array prices where prices I is the price of a given stock on the ith day. Okay, so we are going to have an array where each index is the day. Day 0, day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, 5, 6, and so forth. On each day, you may decide to buy and or sell the stock. So on each day, we can buy or sell a stock. It's the same stock. Everything is here, the prices of the same stock. You can hold at most one share of the stock at any time. So we can only do one purchase or one sell. However, you can buy it immediately, sell it on the same day. For example, let's look at this example, 715364. So we have here 7, 1, 5. These are the stock values. 3, 6, 4. Okay, so let's assume we are human beings and we are trying to solve it without a computer. What would it do? Basically, we look here at the price. We are just, the first stage is to solve it manually. And if it's simple enough to solve it manually, we just go with this solution. If it's not easy enough for a human being, then we need recursion, we need dynamic programming, but let's see if it's easy enough for a human being. So the first die, it's 7. Should we buy or sell it? Okay, we don't know because we need to look ahead at the future, the next day. Doesn't look like a good deal to sell it here, right? So we are not going to buy and sell it here. Okay, let's move on to the next day. 1. Now we are here. The current day now is here. 1. Is it a good idea to buy it here? We don't know because we need to look at the next day. Yes, looks good. Looks like a good day to buy and sell stocks, right? Yes, looks good. Looks good. Let's look at the next day. Here. Should we buy or sell stock here? We don't know because we need to look at the next day. Oh, does not look good because on the next day it's going to be a bad day because here it's 5 and then it's 3. We don't want to buy at 5 and sell at 3, right? Okay, let's progress to the current day. Now we are here. Is it a good day to buy and sell a stock? We don't know. We need to look at the next day. Yes, looks like good. If we buy at 3 and sell at 6, this is a good idea. Now we are here. This is the current day. Is it a good day to buy and sell the stock the next day? No, because the next day it's going to be 4. So this was pretty easy to solve as a human being just by looking at it, because on each day we look at the next day and we decide if to buy and sell, and we then sum the profits. So here we would have 4 plus 3, which makes it 7. This is the total profit. Okay, so now let's move on and solve it with the code. Okay, so we are now looking at the code. So basically we said that for each day we want to look at the current day and at the next day and to understand if it's a good idea to buy and sell today. So we could have a loop, looping all the numbers, starting from the first one. And because we are going to look, and here's a small trick, because we are going to look at the current day and the next day, then it's enough to go up until one before the last value. So up until prices dot length -1. Small trick. Okay, we could do this from the beginning, looking only at the second value, and then the current price would be the current, or looking until the last value -1. Let's see why. Because we know that the current price is the prices at the current place. right? This is the current price. This is today. We could call it, okay. And the next price is the prices at index plus 1. And this is why we basically needed this loop until -1, because now I can assume that every time I reference I plus 1, it would be correct, because I don't loop until the end. So I can always reference the next day, and there would be no indexed out of bound. And now let's see if it's a good idea to sell today. If next minus current is larger than 0, then it's going to be a good idea. Profit plus next minus current. And here we could initialize this profit to 0 and then just return the profit. So we could also remove actually this current and next and just reference these cells directly, which would leave us with only this. But let's not do this. I think it's clear with next and current. So basically our algorithm says, I want to know what is the maximum profit if I knew all the values and I would scan them one by one. So just look at today and tomorrow with a small trick, not to iterate until the end of the list, because the current will be okay, always the current, and immediately in each loop stage, we look at the head, we look at the next item. So if we always look at the next item and there is no meaning to looking at the current item as the last item, then the trick is to look only at the prices length -1 and then sum up the profits. Let's check this. This should be, of course, often, because we loop everything only once. Int I. Yes, looks good for this. Submit it. Often. 1 millisecond looks good. It's pretty easy. So what are our lessons here? Our lesson is that if a problem is easy enough to solve by hand, by just looking at the items, just code it. No need for any fancy algorithms. Our next lesson is that if we need to look at current and next item all the time in the loop, then we are going to either loop from I plus 1 until the end, or loop from 0 until length -1, so that we can safely take the items from I plus 1 without any index of bound, without checking, because you can see complex code with if I'm at the last index, then if I have this index. So with this trick, we don't need this if I'm at the last index, if I have a next index. So this was the problem, best time to buy and sell stocks number 2. Thank you for watching and see you next time.